2300 hours on the 16th of the 3rd, 2020. I want to talk about something that I got a chance to discuss with some of my comrades on the weekend. Um, it was a little disappointing to hear, but at the same time, there was a lot of understanding that at least I had and they had on the matter. And I guess we could say that what we were talking about was a sense of honor, or yeah, it is pretty much a sense of honor. Um, as usual, a lot of us didn't want to talk about it because honor is out of fashion, and it's something that people don't usually deal with anymore. Because from what I gather from some of the individuals from the other night, it's not worth it, or it's a waste of time, or it's not good, which is fair enough. I understand that. I understand that sometimes taking the road where you kind of put a little bit of extra effort for another person, it is kind of worthless, especially in this day and age where most people are only concerned about growing themselves. Yeah, it makes complete sense. I follow a lot of entrepreneurs and businessmen who always talk about self growth and succeeding, and you gotta forget everyone else and go your own path. Makes sense. I talk about I follow a few people that are on this the spiritual road about developing themselves as well in their way, and they too say, fuck what everyone else says, or fuck everyone else. You just concentrate on yourself. I understand, and given that you know doing the honorable thing is not in fashion, makes sense. So and I told everyone as we were talking about this that I disagree. I kind of disagree with what they thought about it, and I agree with what was being talked about in the topic. So I might as well just kind of explain about it. Um, so I was with a few comrades, and we were discussing how one of our comrades still tries to involve himself in things where he doesn't have to, or he doesn't need to, because it's a waste of time and energy. And yeah, like I said, we get it. But when I heard what our comrade was doing, we'll call him McLeod for now. So when I heard what McLeod was doing, I totally agreed with how he felt about it, because what he was doing in that situation, I was actually involved as well, and I was taking the same stance. So me and him, we were taking the same stance because we understand how we like to do things, and that is, put ourselves out there to make things better for the people around us. Because he wasn't just putting himself out there for nobody or anything, or just for a stranger. No, it's I was involved as well, and we like to make sure that when things are happening with people around us in our circle, in our community, in our close community, not just like someone who lives down the road, but like actually people we're involved with, whether we communicate with them much or not. I know McLeod gets me, but I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm the type of person that likes to make sure everything's going good, and or things are going better than they can be. And if I can step in and make a difference, and if I can pretty much help solidify a sense of community with everyone so that we can all make a better approach or a better decision, I'm all for it. And I'll do it. And I'm pretty sure that's what McLeod's idea was, because he's like me. Me and him, we grew up building a community, building family around us, and just knowing what the benefits of having people in a family together is, because we're humans. We're stronger with other people. We 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 excel when we have a community with us, a family with us, a village. Like a person living by himself, fair enough, he can live well off, succeed on his own. But when he establishes his village, it's easier to gather resources. It's easier for the village to grow. It's humans just work better together. So, and that's where the sense of honor kind of comes in, because it's about, how do I say this, putting in a bit more extra effort so that the community can benefit, so the community gets something out of it. So the comrades, some of them, we were talking about that. Well, they were talking about how they were telling McLeod, hey, look, with that thing, you just don't worry about it. They were telling him, hey, don't worry about with that thing that's going on. It's a waste of time. You're just wasting your energy on it. I don't know how McLeod was reacting or how he felt about it. I don't know if he was stressing out in the situation or not, because I haven't properly talked to him about it. But hold on, there's a rail carriage. Yeah, so I haven't properly talked to McLeod about this, but he knows where I stand on it as well. So I don't know. I hope he at least feels supported, knowing that at least whether we talk about it or not, I take the same stand on the matter. But yeah, so some of the other guys were telling him, hey man, just don't worry about this stuff, it's a waste of time, like we don't need to. And then they started to bring up arguments like, hey, times have changed, we're old now, we should be looking after ourselves, or like, all that stuff was like from back in the day, it doesn't matter anymore. Talking about like it's just childish stuff that we don't need to worry about anymore. I don't know, man. When as I became a man, I wanted to keep these values with me. These values where I look after my people. I look after people around me. I believe in that. And I don't want to just say, oh, times have changed, so I don't care about looking after people around me anymore. I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. I invested... Hold on. I invested a lot of time, love, and effort to make a good community around me. And I'm not just gonna disregard it and forget it. And I'm pretty sure McLeod feels the same way. I don't know how some of my other friends feel about it, but I get it. There's a sense of nobody really cares about the community anymore. They only care about themselves, which I get, but at the same time, I don't completely understand. Well, I don't agree with it at least. But I guess maybe it's just how true colors eventually show that as time goes on. Or maybe what I discovered was that there are some of us that wish to take responsibility and those who don't. Or maybe I realized that there are those who are born to do greater things and born to strive for bigger responsibilities and lead. And then there are those who just think, oh no, screw that, I might as well just look after myself and just take care of my own stuff. I get it. I got into a more in-depth conversation with one of the brothers about the matter. Hold on. Yeah. So yeah, I got into a more in-depth conversation with one of the brothers after about it, and yeah, he was talking about how, hey, this communities that, we built and all that, no one really cares about all that stuff anymore. It doesn't matter and all that. Like no one cares. Like no one's gonna care if, you have good, if you have people around you or not. Which I understand with what he's trying to say, but I don't completely agree, because whether people care, and when he was talking about people, he's talking about strangers or outsiders. Or strangers don't care if you have a community behind you or not. I get what you're trying to say, what he was trying to say, but at the same time, I disagreed, because it's not, it doesn't, because they won't care because they don't know if there's a community behind another person. But when things happen, that community makes a huge difference. For example, if I get into a car accident and the first few people that need to be contacted aren't contacted, at least there are other people there to support me. There are people there to help me out when something's wrong. Or, for example, when there's financial problems, you know, if you're really part of a community that cares and you do good by the community, they'll look after you. Well, at least they should. See, one of the things why I understand honor is no longer in fashion is because no one really. I notice that people don't like to look after each other anymore, which is it's kind of sad. And I think that's why I wish to continue living the road where you do a little bit more for others, or you do a bit more to build a community. Because when times get hard, I want to know I got people with me, and I want to know. And if I want a strong community to exist, I need to play the part of a strong community actually existing. I gotta be the person that you know behaves the way I hope that the rest of the community behaves. Because if I don't do it, probably no one else will. We hear McLeod is making an effort, and I hope he continues. And I hope he understands that I'm with him. We don't talk about it, but we don't have to. It's something that me and him and a few others of us have never had to talk about. We just know. We know what it's like to be honorable and empower the people around you. I think the other thing that the people that don't agree with doing things for, or like going out of your way for the community, I think the thing that they don't realize is that this is what makes the difference in people. This is why people want to be around this person, but they may not want to be around you that much. Like, they'll be around with you for the fun and all that, but I mean, it's the kind of people, like, there's the kind of people you want with you to your dying day, and then there's the kind of people that you get tired of and you don't really care about anymore. I know I want a good community behind me, and I hope my comrades at least acknowledge that I I do good by them, and I won't sell them out. And I hope that they understand that that kind of mentality does make the difference. I don't know. Signing out.